Salute everyone. The streets are buzzing. How's everyone feeling after this big win? Crazy game on the road. It was a wild one, but the New York Knicks pulled it out. That's all that matters. Let's break it down with the best chat in the biz. Salute to Knicks Nation. Salute Replay Squad. Man, Cardiac is back. That's all I gotta say right now, because that was way too uncomfortable late in the game. The New York Knicks, though, pulled it out 126-120 off a Jalen Brunson career high 8 out of 12 three-pointers. Barrett's breakout early start of the season continues, but Julius Randle also helped step up with assists, almost a triple-double, and clutch free throws late. But the turnovers of Jalen Brunson, Quickley, Grimes made this way too uncomfortable. As the HAWKS, the game was back and forth. It was just offensive fueled. It's tough to say this looking at the score, but I thought the Knicks defense was solid early in the game. Paint defense, Mitchell Robinson had himself an exceptional game as well. We'll break down the stats. We'll shout out the chat and celebrate this first win of the season. The Knicks are now 1-1. First game of a back-to-back. We head to New Orleans tomorrow night in New Orleans, and it's going to go down. The New Orleans Pelicans didn't play tonight, so they're going to be a bit more fresh. Tonight we saw the Knicks kind of gas out. Tom Thibodeau rocked with the 9-man rotation once again. No Deuce McBride, no Fournier, no Sims, even with Hartenstein getting into foul trouble, and it almost proved costly. I kind of questioned that off the gate. You could see guys there later in the game, they were just gassed. This was a really, really high-intensity game, ladies and gentlemen. As we'll look at the stats, the New York Knicks won the rebounding. 30 assists was absolutely exceptional. 9 steals was good, although most of them were in the first half. 6 blocks, 16 turnovers, though. That was awful. The New York Knicks only had 6 turnovers at halftime and 10 now in the second half. But Jalen Brunson and Barrett, to me, got to take the game balls. Barrett continues to step up and do huge things early in the game. He kept us in it, started really strong, which was the key. You know, on the road, you want to start strong, ladies and gentlemen. But then Jalen Brunson caught fire throughout the game. Second and third quarter went to work. Dante DiVincenzo had a mini breakout game. His best game as a Knick. Hit timely shots as well. But yeah, those turnovers, we've got to get those down. We've got to clean that up. Certainly on the road, you can't turn the ball over like that and expect to win against good teams. Now, I use the word good. I thought Atlanta, I predict them to be around the late playoff, early play-in slot. But tonight I wasn't really too impressed by them. I thought DeAndre Hunter helped carry them a lot in points. Clint Capella missed a critical chance with that lob in the final a minute of the game to really tie it up and make the New York Knicks sweat and almost take it to overtime. But that would have been far too much, heart-wrenching stuff for a game like this, man. Yeah, the New York Knicks should have closed it out. But yeah, big task salute. That's a tap, and the chat's buzzing. Barrett, yeah, we know Brunson's capable of this more often, getting hot. But yeah, Barrett's overall game tonight was excellent. As we'll go through the box score and shout more people out. But Mitchell Robinson, 13 rebounds as well, was excellent. But Julius Randle, 9 assists as well. So yeah, those guys really all stepped up, big to help us out. So yeah, we'll look at some more highlights. We'll look at the box score and shout everyone out. But yeah, this is another fine dime from Julius Randle, at a key part of tonight's game to really break the backs of Atlanta. I think we were just hitting way too many threes. Like I said, they were slow rotating as well. Smaller man. It's good that we were taking advantage of Trae Young as well whenever we could. That's what I like. That gets a big tick. If Trae Young's going to score, then we're going to have to try to wear him down as well. So that was a good dime, one of many from Julius Randle's 9 dimes and RJ Barrett swishing as well. RJ Barrett was there also dishing himself, but yeah, there was Mitch patrolling the paint, swallowing it up. Also, shout out to Isaiah Hartenstein, who had a couple of huge critical plays in this game, especially defensively, but this is one of them. Gets his own miss, goes up strong, and slams it down. So, yeah, for a back and forth game, right, you just got to take it and run, really, but we do have to be better down the stretch. We've seen this time and time again, ladies and gents, from the previous years as well. So, yeah, box score, RJ Barrett, 9 of 15, 3 of 5 from deep, 60%. The New York Knicks shoot 45% from deep overall, 47% from the field. That was great. The free throw percentage, though, a little bit better than the other night, but 71%, still not good enough. Got to get that up. Julius Randle with 12 boards, salute, 9 assists, and 17 points, almost a triple-double. So that would have been another feather in his cap to get that. But RJ Barrett's 26 points, 5 of 6 from the line, was excellent. He was dishing, getting to the rack, finishing strong as well. So, yeah, parts of RJ Barrett's game is definitely elevating this season than what we've seen so far, fam. Finishing in traffic, shooting the ball well from deep, driving and processing the game at a faster pace, 6 assists and a steal. The defense is up, the floor game's up, 26 points. Shout out to RJ Barrett for this one. As Drip More, Jet Life, Jerry in the house. Let's go, guys. Salute. We're 1-1 off the board now with our first victory of the season. Baby, stand up. Isaiah Hartenstein, big task given him his props. Big time. Yep. Jet Life, still not convinced with RJ's performance. Fool's goal. We've got to see this continue. But, man, I'm happy with his performance so far, to start this season, man. Game ball Mitch Vaughn. Salute. NYC ball. Let's go. The Knicks gritted this one out. We know how tough it is to win on the road. Guys, we've got to take that into account. It wasn't pretty. This one was more gritty, but with some good offense sprinkled in, man. Shout out to our captain, 8 of 12 from deep, Jalen Brunson. We don't win this game, if he doesn't get hot. Salute L. Duke Brown. Let's go. Yeah, Jalen Brunson's 8 of 12. Right, we don't see that very often as a New York Knick. What was it? J.R. Smith, Evan Fournier with the record with 10 3-pointers. He was flirting with that tonight. I would have loved him to break that record, but it wasn't to be. But nonetheless, man, it was a team effort, really. The fact that Mitch had a good game, we had Brunson, Randle, Barrett helped close it out. Hart was a little down tonight, but Emmanuel Quickley came down, obviously, off an amazing game 1. It was a little shaky in this game. 11 points, but 6 assists. But the 4 turnovers definitely hurt. But IQ was getting after it. He was solid defensively. The 1 of 9 from 3, we know that's going to happen from time to time. He's going to be a little streaky on the road. But the main thing is we had enough guys to pick us up tonight and get this big win. That was the main thing. You don't want to start 0-2, that's for sure. So we get the kind of the shackles off, and we're ready for tomorrow night's second leg of a back-to-back in New Orleans. We'll break that down later in tonight's show. That's going to be a really interesting matchup with the way the Pelicans have started. But as expected, the New York Knicks are predicted to be a better team than the Atlanta Hawks. I got Atlanta in my pre-season standing prediction. I got them in at 9. Atlanta, and I got the New York Knicks in at 4. So, it was a little closer than we liked, but, we sealed the deal with free throws late. Julius Randle finally being more clutch as a New York Knicks player, closing it out. But what did you guys think of Dante DiVincenzo's game as well? I thought he hit timely buckets, and we really needed it at critical times. Dante was 6 of 10, salute. 3 of 5 from deep, salute. And the 4 rebounds, a steal, and a block. So active, getting after it. Still would have liked Thibs to go with a 10-man rotation early in the season. I think that's really important so that guys don't gas out. And I think it almost cost us. Would have loved to see a little bit of Deuce McBride because offensively we were strong, but we needed to get some stops. But yeah, in his 20 minutes, that's exactly where I predicted DiVincenzo to kind of be around. And, if he's going to be efficient like this, that's a great addition as well. Hartenstein would have played more if he didn't get in foul trouble. So 10 minutes, but 3 of 4 was efficient. He gets he'll get an A- for his effort, his hustle tonight. I'll give Dante DiVincenzo a solid B. Quickley, look, he'll get a C tonight. And Josh Hart, he'll get a C+. He was solid. Jalen Brunson, got to get an A-. Was a little shaky later in the game. Quentin Grimes, I'll give a B. Mitchell Robinson gets an A. Julius Randle gets a B+. And RJ Barrett gets his A+. A+ for tonight for RJ Barrett, just for being the most consistent player over the course of the game. 15 shot attempts, the second highest, right? There's been a lot of talk, guys, on Twitter right now. Is RJ Barrett going to see more minutes out of any other player because he's going to play more with the bench? And that looks like it's going to happen because we need that extra size coming off the bench, and the shooting solid. 2 Bricks Nation, yep, 1-1. Yep, we're on the board right now, and we're off and racing. Big task. I like Dante from the bench. He played well. Yeah, we needed that spark, and no doubt he gave us that with the deep shooting, stretching the defense out, and making sure that the other guys have more space. I think that's key as well. So we win as a team and we lose as a team, guys. If a guy has it going, a lot of it is due to other guys doing the dirty work, taking the hits, also moving around, creating extra space for guys. But yeah, I think the only down Nick was tonight was, for the most part, was Emmanuel Quickley, because obviously he's aggressive and he's going to have nights like this where the shot's just not falling. But you still love him to be aggressive because it's going to open the floor up for other guys. Now, look, later in the game, obviously the Hawks kept hanging around, and that was the sticking point. That was the tricky part of, feeling the extra nerves, later in the games to close it out. But finishing off with free throws was good later in the game. And that's exactly what we needed. As we'll go through more of the highlights, Isaiah Hartenstein's put back. Again, yeah, he was solid tonight. Only 10 minutes. So we talked about it in the preseason, how good the Knicks situation is at the big man spot. To have a guy like him that is a backup, it's a luxury, guys. And he's definitely going to help us win a lot of games. But yeah, shout out to the captain, Brunson. He absolutely burst out of his game 1 funk. Big time. With 8 of 12. Right, almost beating or equaling the New York Knicks record of J.R. Smith and Fournier of 10 3 balls. So he's got to feel good about that. And hopefully an all-star season now is alive. And it's this season's now really heating up. As we get into the third game on the road, hopefully we can sweep this back-to-back, get confidence of heading into a back-to-back with Cleveland, Tuesday, Wednesday as well. Now, we got a guest attached to the Cleveland situation coming on Thursday. So that's a heads up, guys, for next week. We play Tuesday, Wednesday, Cleveland in a home and home. Then the following day, we'll have a national NBA writer, a guest that's close to the Cleveland market. So that's going to be a juicy conversation we can have after 2 games against Cleveland. Hopefully we can sweep them as well, just like we win tomorrow night, and we could sweep this road trip. Vaughn, salute. Hartenstein makes some critical defensive plays. Yeah, it seems like his head's always in the game. That's what I appreciate with Hartenstein. You know, for whatever he lacks athletically, and sometimes, you know, he's just not big or strong enough than some guys, but he never quits. He always sticks with it, and that's what I love about it. Speaking of that, you know, there was a play where RJ Barrett also stuck with it. That was one of the best plays that I appreciated from RJ Barrett's game tonight. Was, you know, he got the rebound himself, kept his head up, and then he made another play and a nice dime as well. So that was key for that tonight, for RJ's game overall. But yeah, we have the Knicks account paying homage to Jalen Brunson's performance. But yeah, look, RJ Barrett's confidence shooting the 3. He wasn't even shooting it this well in FIBA. So it's a testament to the guy who's been continuing to work on it. And even after FIBA, he probably, you know, stayed in the gym, hitting these shots, you know. And it's great, you know, no more slow start Barrett. It's now hot start, getting the Knicks going, you know, in these games. Yeah, what else stood out to you guys? Let me know. But obviously, yeah, Randle, the pleasing thing is that offensively, a game like this from Randle, I'll take it in terms of you know, being a better a floor guy, you know, with his assist numbers, his rebounding, but also chipping in with 17 points. Not always needing the ball, a lower usage, but being more effective when he's got the ball. So that's huge. That's big time as well. And that's reflective in our assist numbers, ladies and gentlemen, with, what do we have, 30 assists tonight. So that's big time. Ball movement, and that allowed, you know, multiple guys to get loose. Barrett, Brunson, DiVincenzo, and even Grimes was able to get off some shots tonight and play well. Quentin Grimes got 2 of 5 from deep, 2 of 6 overall. Quiet night on the rebounding, just 6 points, but 24 minutes. His spacing is what's going to help this unit a lot. You know, I made a note. I needed him to get more shots in the first half, but then I think in the third quarter, he also got a few more shots up, and got that percentage up with 40% from deep. So that's 2 games in a row now. The Knicks have shot above 40-something% from deep. So a team that's not known as a high percentage team, we actually need to shoot more volume. So that's pleasing so far. Jalen Brunson, man, he absolutely emptied the clip tonight. Nick Yak, salute, 13 boards, 7 on offense, 4 steals, 4 blocks, taken away for 4 fouls. For fouls is an A+ with that situation. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, salute. Yeah, he could get an A+. But yeah, I've just felt like Bully Barrett was the lone A+ for me tonight. But yeah, Mitchell Robinson, his impact is amazing with his 4 blocks and 4 steals. Yeah, it definitely could be bumped up to an A+ with that. Also, you're giving love to Randle. His best 17 points, 9 assists, because they double him. Yep, facts. Yep, he was taking advantage of the double, punishing them, which is what we need. Yep, and helping us get that 30 assists up. Yep. Also, what stood out for Vaughn was that Robinson goes for a lot of blocks after those attempts. His teammates allow his man to get the offensive boards. Yeah, I noticed that too. I think tonight, man, the conditioning guys were gassed, no doubt. There was a time in the third when Atlanta made that run, and I was like, Thibs, call a timeout. He should have called a timeout earlier. no doubt about it. Poor refereeing decision of the night was the missed violation. Even Mike Breen was on it. He was on it with Bogdanovic already running before the tip had happened, the jump ball. He started to run down the court. How do you miss that? That's crazy. And then obviously we have the referees come out now and admit the egregious, despicable error in game 1 with Jalen Brunson getting called for a foul, a flop, technical, when he was actually hit on that 3-point attempt. That's a 3-point swing right there. So game 1, nothing's changed. The referees missing critical plays, guys. And that's frustrating, no doubt. But tonight we didn't let that happen. We didn't let that steal the win from us. We stayed with it. But yeah, Dante DiVincenzo might get lost in tonight's story because of so many other feel-good situations. But let's give a shout out to DiVincenzo. It's got to feel good for him, man. You know, you're signed as a free agent. You're in a brand new situation now. You know, you got a little bit of heat, and now he's answered the call. 6 of 10 and 3 of 5 from deep. That's big time for a player off the bench with 3 threes in 20 minutes. 16 points. That's scoring we really, really need, guys. Bricks Nation, yeah, Randle keeps playing like this. Draymond Green role, watch out. Yeah. Obviously Draymond's the pinnacle of that big man role player that fills the stat sheet. Randle's no doubt better offensively, but yeah, he's more than capable of even being better with the assists and the rebounding tonight when doubled as well. So yeah, we salute guys for making the sacrifice, because that's what I'm trying to say, right? You know, there's 9 players play. I don't think all 9 guys can have a high scoring night. You know, there's got to be other guys share the ball, and that's exactly what he did. So salute, shout out. Yeah, the Boston situation was egregious. And tonight, Bogdanovic violation, man, almost cost us. Taken off down the floor. That was frustrating. So Josh Hart only jacked up 1 3 tonight. Hartenstein didn't get a 3 ball up. And obviously Mitch didn't either. But the New York Knicks shooting 20 of 44 is a trend from last night, the other game and tonight. And that's one of the best stories of the season for me so far, is getting that 3-point percentage up, because you know Tom Thibodeau's going to love that, and he's going to want the New York Knicks to shoot even more, which that's the way the league's going, ladies and gents, right? I don't know if the Hawks were lost. You see, I've got their down mark on slow rotating. This guy just gets lost on RJ Barrett. Yeah, he didn't really need to help there, because Capella's right there. So I don't know what they're doing. So you see Capella guarding the drive. And I think it's Hunter. Hunter comes over to try and help, and he leaves RJ Barrett wide open. I love the back and forth between those two tonight, because, you know, there's been a lot of talk over Bully Barrett's draft position, DeAndre Hunter. You know, there's been some critique over his career so far, but yeah, RJ Barrett was hyped up for tonight. You see Evan Fournier, Deuce McBride being great teammates, cheering on their guys. In tonight's road win. The crowd, what did you guys feel? The crowd was into it. Pro Knicks crowd in the ATL. We can get that all season long. Looking forward to that. Home cooking on the road. Orlando is going to be another one. Miami, Atlanta. We've got a good Knicks crowd in Milwaukee. I mentioned Orlando. Chicago, we should have a good Knicks crowd as well. Knicks fan base worldwide, all over the place. But yeah, the New York Knicks face the Pelicans on the road. That's going to be big. They didn't play tonight. So my hope for tomorrow night, guys, is a 10-man rotation at least. Even 11, I wouldn't mind. Because tonight, this game, back and forth, get on the flight and get with it. A physical New Orleans team. I don't want these guys to gas out, and it's going to be tough. The way we were running tonight, up and down. Yeah, the way the game's going to be played, especially on the West Coast, is another reason why. So for me, first candidate is to see some Deuce McBride minutes for tomorrow night, and then heck, depending on how the bench is shooting, we might see some Fournier. We'll wait and see. But Mitch was breathing heavily tonight, real heavily. He definitely looks like he's built up. Mitch is looking strong. He's looking like a beast tonight. 13 boards, 6 of them offensive, 4 blocks, 4 steals, 7 points. Now, a lot's been made of Mitch's free throws as well. 3 of 4 from the line. Line drives, shout out. If he's shooting it this efficient, it don't even matter to me anymore. Right, just make sure they go in. I don't care if it's left-handed, up and unders, line drives. Let's get that free throw percentage up. So tonight was 71%, a much better effort. Isaiah Hartenstein, though, missed 2. Randle missed 2. Brunson and Barrett missed 1. DiVincenzo missed 1 as well. But by far the most crazy quarter was the third, 31 apiece. My notes are just filled with bang, bang, loose plays. Brunson was a little sloppy early. Then Randle got the assists up. The team got into a funk. I thought Thibs should have called a timeout earlier in the third. And then the missed violation. But then Dante DiVincenzo got loose to end the third. That helped kind of stave off a run that would have made Atlanta get the lead. And then the fourth quarter kind of started funky as well. DiVincenzo missed a layup off an amazing RJ Barrett feed. Quickley took an ill-advised pull-up 3 and then turned the ball over. But then Isaiah Hartenstein got swallowed up Okongwu's layup. That was one of the plays of the game. Absolutely came in and helped second effort, swallowed it up. Then Isaiah Hartenstein backed it up with another stop. IQ went another turnover, but then Brunson and RJ Barrett took over in the fourth with some buckets, some key buckets as well. So, yeah, I mentioned ATL, man, I'm not that impressed by them. DeAndre Hunter was the main guy tonight. Trae Young, inefficient. We have DeJounte Murray, tried his best as well. But based off our now first look at ATL, I'm not thinking that they're going to be a threat to finish above the Knicks this year at all. And I'm not just basing it on tonight's win. I'm just basing it on how they looked. They were relatively healthy. They got some good minutes from Griffin, from AJ Griffin. They got some good minutes from Bogdanovic. He hit some timely shots as well. But I just think, offensively, Sadiq Bey didn't do enough for them. Defensively, we went at Capella, and it wasn't even Randle's best offensive game as well. He was just throwing them off, moving the rock. So Sherwin's in the building. Salute. Give us your thoughts on tonight's situation. How did you assess it? Quickly had a down night, but can't overreact to one game, guys. We're going to need everyone on this team, and we're going to need guys to pick other guys up. When they don't have it. Brunson didn't have it in the first game with Randle. Barrett helped pick us up, and Quickley helped pick us up. Now tonight, Quickley was a little bit out of control, but Randle was surer with the ball, and Brunson was hitting the shots. Same with Barrett as well. But I mentioned earlier in the show, we have to clean that up late in games. We can't afford to turn it over with 16 times, and be successful. So that's going to be, I think, a reason we win a whole heap of games is just execution. Part of that is free throws. Part of that is ball handling. and being better with that. I've talked about why I think Grimes might be a candidate to not close some games out. Now, a lot of people talk about his shooting, and definitely a big year ahead for Quentin Grimes. Hopefully he breaks out. But I'll tell you, he's been a little shaky with the ball in late game situations for me, as Quentin Grimes as well. We've seen it a little bit last year, tonight again. He's still growing in this league, and obviously confidence comes from being in late game situations as well. But yeah, he's got to be better. He's got to clean that up as well. So far, yeah, RJ Barrett's been solid in the clutch, and definitely Jalen Brunson shot making. But Brunson being a shorter guy, he's prone to the turnover as well. Guys got to come towards him when the double, the trap's coming. Brunson's short. He's got to throw the ball over the help as well. So you got to come at him and make it easier for these guys. So guys, appreciate your passion in the chat and that. Just keep it clean, and we shout you out. We can shout you out if you keep it clean. But yeah, we feel the passion. Knicks Nation's here. The streets are buzzing as we smash that like button after the Knicks' first big win of the year. It was a wild one down in the ATL. I thought we put in a really good effort. Game 1, Game 2, now finally got over the hump, I'm going to say. It's got to be confidence building, because for the most part, all the Knicks hit some shots tonight. Now, the only Knicks in the minus was pretty much Hart, Quickley, Hartenstein, DiVincenzo as well. The other bench player, of course, RJ Barrett, who played with the bench lineups, was a +6, Randle +7, Mitch +11, and Brunson team high +13, 31 big ones. His first 30 game of the season. We'll do a watch on how many 3 balls Brunson gets, how many 30-point balls Brunson gets, for the season. Now, I mentioned, look, with Tom Thibodeau, early in the season, we haven't seen anything new offensively, but some concerning things for me were, I think, out of 2 timeouts, we look poor. We look discombobulated. Not a good situation, not a good play. And we basically had, I think, 3 turnovers, I'm going to say, after timeouts, or a poor shot selection, just a nothing situation. So we got to get better at that with play calling, with Thibs. The other thing was calling timeouts at the right time, and I thought Thibs could have been better tonight doing that. The third quarter, man, like I said, it was basically a stretch of like 3 minutes of both teams going back and forth, right? And jacking up ill-advised shots, misses, turnovers, and then neither coach was calling a timeout. It was glaringly obvious that, the players were gassing out. So be better at that, man. Just call a timeout, get guys a breather, and get them ready, get them in a proper set with that way. Because, it's going to be key. Key stretches of any game can absolutely create a situation where you don't get what you need and you lose the game. Can swing. Good question. Big task for tomorrow night. Does the Pels play any D? From what I've seen, they're not a good defensive team, fam. Not a good defensive team. They've got a couple of nice young wings, Dyson Daniels, but for the most part, they've got CJ McCollum. They've got Brandon Ingram. Not great defensive players, in my opinion. I think the Knicks can definitely score 120 tomorrow night. Hopefully we stretch this rotation out. Guys going back and forth over Obi and DiVincenzo. Look, early in the season, let's see how it plays out. Guys offer a little bit of different stuff. Obi's ability to get fast break buckets is definitely something that's good for us, or was good for us. DiVincenzo's floor spacing, I think, is more legit with the 3-point ball. Not to say Obi doesn't hit the three ball. I'm just saying DiVincenzo's more of a pure shooter. With that said, DiVincenzo had a disgusting turnover as well, off another inbound. 2 turnovers for DiVincenzo, so that's not good. Not even good for any fantasy team to have 1 assist, 2 turnovers. I'm on my Yahoo Fantasy this year, guys. I'm doing quite well. I did well in the draft. I grabbed quite a few Knicks. I got Mitch, I got Brunson, I got Barrett, and I got Quentin Grimes. Right, I did not get Julius Randle. He was drafted by another guy. But yeah, 4 Knicks in the starting 5. My fantasy team's off to a great start. Damian Lillard, I was able to get. Man, Lillard got 39 points, 17 out of 17 free throws, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Damian Lillard's a monster with that situation. But with Jalen Brunson, right, it was a situation where Trae Young couldn't really get what he wanted on Brunson. So I thought Brunson stepped up defensively. Obviously those 2 guys are both undersized, so they cancel each other out. And I thought Brunson's still going to be, facing challenges this year with bigger guys, that go at him as well. And that might tire him out a little bit. But early in the season, big tick for tonight. A big tick for the whole starting 5. Yeah, and a couple of the guys off the bench also really stepped up with Hartenstein and DiVincenzo. Do you guys feel like we need a 10-man rotation tomorrow night against New Orleans? I feel like we definitely do, because it's going to be tricky right early in the season. Like we need some extra rest, guys. So what I'm going to do is also going to bring up some footage, guys. We need to see this from Scott Perry. Scott Perry talking about, he went on a podcast and he talked about some stuff about the Knicks, about drafting RJ, the Donovan Mitchell trade talks, and why that move wasn't able to come about as well. Let's hear from the former Knicks general manager, right, on Cleveland wanting 2/3, 3/4 of all the Knicks young players and good young talent that we have with all of our draft capital.
Donovan Mitchell, who's an excellent basketball player, multi-year All-Star, tremendous young man, New York kid. But you got to ask yourself, if the other team that you're trading with is wanting to take 2/3, the 3/4 of all of your good young talent and all of your draft capital, is what is left behind going to be good enough for you to win or be better than what you are, if you just hold on to what you have and be a little patient? So that's the thought process in that. And obviously we made a push to trade for him, but it was going to be done within reason. We felt that because he was a good player, but he needed more around him to win. Because if he was that singular force, Utah probably would have been in the conference finals.
Yeah, he's spitting facts right there. That's what a lot of guys are thinking. So that gives us key insight into how the front office was thinking in trade negotiations, guys. And maybe thinking in the future about what is it worth giving up for Donovan Mitchell. But he's a difference maker if you've got enough talent left. But if we're giving up 3/4 of our young players and 3-4 picks, is there anything left to really compete? Right? Talking about giving up Barrett, Grimes, Quickley, I'm going to assume, and I know Obi was in the deal as well. And then you're talking about 3-4 picks as well. For a one-player Donovan Mitchell, as nice as he is, I think the Knicks definitely exercise the right patience with that. Now we might be able to get him for peanuts or for free. as well. So yeah, there's no doubt, Cleveland swooped in, they hijacked the deal, but that doesn't mean the New York Knicks definitely fumbled. They definitely did not fumble that. I mean, I don't think RJ, Quickley and Grimes and multiple picks. That's one player and a few picks too many, in my opinion. But that was done and dusted. We ended up making the fifth seed in the second round. We knocked out Spider Mitchell, and now let's see. We'll see if we can get him for cheaper on that situation. So yeah, that was good to hear from former general manager Scott Perry. Now had some really positive things to say about the organization. He was a guy who helped us keep draft picks, find Mitchell Robinson later in the second round through his relationships. He was able to obviously draft RJ Barrett as well. Talked about why the Knicks selected RJ Barrett. He said they were impressed by his maturity. He rocked up to a meeting at 8:30 in the morning after the lottery in a suit, 8:30 to meet Scott Perry, and he was impressed by the head on his shoulders and the mindset from RJ Barrett, and ended up convincing them to take him third overall. So with that said, Scott Perry's now a free agent. I think he's not with any situation. But he said after his 6 years with the Knicks, he felt really comfortable walking away now. That the fact that the Knicks are in a good position, in a good situation, and he feels good about where we're headed. So key insights for Scott Perry. I'll drop the link to the full podcast if you guys want to hear more. But that basically I summed that up. With that said, so. The key story was guys hit shots tonight, but the ball movement allowed guys to get good looks. So that's what's key. Nothing's changed with our big men, still getting gritty, pulling the rebounds, getting second chance after second chance points tonight. But a really good floor game from Julius Randle with the 9 assists, the 12 boards, and the 17 buckets as well. Also 3 of 7. From deep, so much good shooting, but lesser volume than last year's early on, and that's been a big difference so far. He looks more calm with the ball, ready to swing it. RJ Barrett's ready to pull that trigger and get to the line as well. RJ Barrett, a play where he had a head fake and was able to get, I think, a Kongwu up in the air and just make sure he got to the line. In previous years, Barrett may have rushed it, missed the layup, missed the shot, but I think he's really starting to understand and feel how he can get to the line easier and manipulate the defense. That's the key. We know Jalen Brunson's a maestro at manipulating. Looks like Luke is going bonkers. Appreciate it. We'll do a roundup of the league before we get out of here, because we're on a back-to-back. Tomorrow night we'll be down. Streets will be buzzing in New Orleans. Hopefully we go 2-1, above 500. But Nick Yak says instead of waiting 3 years and he walks here free, now 2 years he wants you to play here. Yep. Whoever trades for Mitchell is only renting him too. 2 years and he walks here. Yep. We only want him for free. I think, the Knicks are making moves that just make sense. Like, we want an upgrade badly, but we can't sacrifice, like I said, all the good assets were built up. It's got to be for that right move and the real difference maker as well. Now, Donovan Mitchell added to this current team is a real difference maker. But what Scott Perry's trying to say is if you added a Donovan Mitchell, but you subtract RJ, Quentin Grimes, Quickley, and all those draft picks, you've really got less to build around Donovan Mitchell. And then your roster is depleted as well. So that kind of puts, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back as well. So, we wait to see these contracts play out and we can continue to build what we got. But with that said, man, Looks like Luka Doncic is going down right now. We'll do a roundup of tonight's results around the league. We had the Chicago Bulls have a players-only meeting after the first game. Billy Donovan, Zach LaVine was very inefficient. Nikola Vucevic, I think, gave everyone a piece of his mind. He felt like he wasn't getting enough touches. So with that said, the Chicago Bulls are deep in overtime against the Raptors, 97-96. That's an overtime alert. Classic. We'll get that looking. We have the San Antonio Spurs in overtime against the Houston Rockets, 123-120, with 14 seconds to go. We'll check out the score with Wemby. We have the Dallas Mavericks up by 1 point over the Nets with 1 minute to play. That's crazy. Yeah, we'll stay live and cop that result. We have the Utah Jazz clowning the Clippers right now at halftime, 63-54. I'm going to assume Kawhi Leonard sitting that back-to-back. The Kings, 39-28 over the Warriors. Yeah, I got the Kings coming back strong this year. Swiper Fox, Sabonis looking good. The Orlando Magic, as expected, beating the Blazers 40-35. We had the Nuggets beat the Grizzlies narrowly, 108-104. I picked the Hornets. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done at home over the Pistons. Pistons look great tonight with their young talent. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duran, the Thompson twin, 111-99. We saw Michael Jordan at the game. But yeah, they lost at the Hornets big time. The Thunder beat the Cavs. The Cavs start 1-1. Thunder are undefeated now. And we had the Boston Celtics beat our nemesis, the Miami Heat, 119-111. With that, of course, the New York Knicks take tonight's game ball, 126-120. A little not enough stops for me, for my liking tonight. It was just a little bit too much back and forth. But yeah, we're going to get those games. But like so far, the story is the younger players, specifically led by Barrett, has stepped up early this season, pre-season, and early in the meaningful games. Quickley the other night, didn't have it tonight, but Quentin Grimes been fairly solid. DiVincenzo as well. Defensively, we're going to need them. Even if they're not hitting shots, they're big-time defensive players for us. Yeah, good performances all around with a career high from JB. But I think RJ Barrett really gets the game ball for his consistent performance. But yeah, man, 8 out of 12 threes is no joke. Yeah, I'm watching the Magic, Vaughn, no doubt about it. They're so deep. They got Anthony Black now. They got Suggs. Cole Anthony's balling out. Markel Fultz. Carter Jr. They got obviously Franz Wagner and Paolo. So that's a deep squad, man. Yep, Nick Yak, absolutely. Yeah, we need the Dallas to be better than the 10 worst teams, and we're going to get that draft pick. Yep. The Celtics game was close most of the fourth, as they pull it out over Miami. So the Miami start 1-1. Celtics are undefeated. Also, Vaughn, chat, look out for OKC. OKC, they might make the top 6. I'm not talking just play-in. I'm talking top 6 now. Chet Holmgren's healthy. SGA looking like an MVP candidate. Giddy, J-Dub, J-Will. Lou Dort's in my fantasy team. They got something like 15 draft picks in the next 3 years. It's absolutely insane. Basically, the next all-in move, I think OKC could be ready to make that move. I think I don't even think they need to draft anybody really. Like, how many players are they going to add to their current squad? Right, it's time to at least pair, some of those picks up, and go all in. But yeah, we got Deuce McBride. We talked about him, guys, as an unrestricted free agent. The story to watch this year is, how many minutes, is Deuce McBride gonna get? You guys let me know. Do you think Deuce should fit in as the 10th man? I do. I think he's a guy who looks like his offense is really taken a step, and no doubt his defense is much needed for this team as well. So I would play Deuce ahead of Fournier and ahead of Sims. I think Sims will get in if Ihart or Mitch suffer some foul trouble or some injuries. But I think they like the size of Barrett playing the small ball 4 and Josh Hart getting those minutes. And it's helping Barrett, stay in rhythm with these extra minutes. Maybe if we rewind to last year, Barrett playing, 37 minutes the other night, 33 tonight, he may have only played 30, 31, 30 if we rewind to last year. So I think he's able to stay on the floor longer, to get those extra reps. It's helping his rhythm, which is also a key scorer for our bench unit as well, in terms of the rebounding and being that bully that we need. Right, RJ Barrett versus NBA benches is a whole nother story. Right, he can really dominate getting to the line, especially 6 free throws tonight. That was great, almost more than Randle was. He was in aggressive mode. But yeah, the swinging the ball, the 30 assists again, that helped Brunson get loose when we needed with the 8 threes. And the team got to feel good with Mitch there, ready to rebound, any miss, gobble it up. But yeah, tonight, guys, there wasn't many missing. It was dishing and swishing. Now, in my notes, obviously going back to the start of the game, guys, the first quarter, starting strong. Barrett and Brunson both had 8 points each to end the first. That has bucked the trend from the last game, in preseason, starting slow. I think tonight would have been an uphill battle if the Knicks started slow. But we started fast, 35-31. Then a 34-point second quarter, 31-point third, and a little bit of a hesitation late, 26-point fourth quarter, when the defense ratcheted up. But Atlanta, they just don't have the size, I think, in the backcourt to really be effective stopping us, trapping. I think watch this year with Atlanta, that Trae Young experiment could be, those days could be numbered right now, in my opinion. We'll see. This is a year they've got to make the playoffs or the play-in. It's going to be critical for them. So, I've got them just making the play-in. But we see, guys, October, we got the back-to-back with New Orleans. Then we got Cleveland on a Tuesday, and then also on Wednesday. First day of November, Cleveland, back home and home. We start away, and then we go back to MSG. Right, we'll have a guest national NBA reporter who's close to the Cleveland situation. We'll talk to them on Thursday after the Cleveland back-to-back as well. There might be some more Spider Mitchell buzz. There might not be, but hopefully the New York Knicks are then hopefully where we are 4-1 by then. That'll be a great start. Right, we'll be on a 4-game winning streak if that's the case. But yeah, tonight I'm rocking the RJ Barrett draft class cap as well, in a salute for RJ Barrett's start of the season. The New York Knicks are a better team when he's performing this way as well. Another guy, man, Isaiah Hartenstein is a unrestricted free agent after this year, just like Deuce McBride. How valuable is he to this team, do you guys feel? Would you be okay if the Knicks didn't spend money bringing Isaiah Hartenstein back and put Jericho Sims in that permanent backup spot? Great performance from Isaiah tonight. He's a little inconsistent at times, but effort-wise, defensively, he's solid. Is an excellent backup to Mitch. Now, it's going to be interesting. We don't really have the cap space to spend big money, right? And I could see an NBA team offering legit money. Like I'm talking 8 mil again, 10 mil again. And would the New York Knicks be willing to spend that? Is going to be really interesting. So that's some of my early storylines to watch with Deuce McBride and Isaiah Hartenstein being unrestricted free agents after this year. Yeah, the playoffs, Vaughn. Good point about we'll ultimately know, I guess, how this season ends. On what note? If we're that close and we get to the ECF or the NBA Finals, or we win it, then it's a no-brainer, I think. It'll all be about the playoff situation, how he looks, and the shooting is another weapon. We know, we haven't really been utilizing that. The passing game is great from Isaiah as well. Yep. Nick Yak says we have two choices. Quickley either accepts the max we can offer it because of the deadline. He's not accepting. We can match but can't offer starting point guard money to him. Yeah, we can't offer the starting point guard role. That could be the biggest sticking point, I feel, as well, with Emmanuel Quickley. I feel like he's definitely confident. He's always been confident. And I think there's going to be at least multiple NBA teams that feel they're a rebuilding team most likely, but they feel like he could be a big piece to their rebuild as well. I really feel like Minnesota, Orlando, even Toronto, if they don't want to bring back Dennis Schroeder, could be a big situation to watch in terms of the role. But Quickley loves being a Knick. He just doesn't want to come off the bench forever. And it's going to be a point where he's going to come into his fifth year next year. So fifth year in the league. He wants to be an all-star one day. And, his game is growing, no doubt about it. Jonathan Isaac is back for Orlando as well. Yep. A lot of sleepers this year, no doubt. I think this NBA is going to be fun, but it's going to be a lot of wild games like tonight. Because the New York Knicks can't just win games on talent. We have to scrap. We have to get gritty, and we have to do what we do good. Orange and blue is what we do. And we have to rebound. We have to force turnovers. We have to take care of the ball, keep our turnovers low. And if we keep shooting like this, I feel good, right? The story is, the Knicks shooting 40% from 3 in both games almost helped us beat Boston Celtics, and it got us the win tonight against another high-powered shooting team as well. If we took care of the ball tonight, I think we win by 10. We win by 12, 14 points. If you subtract the fouling and the foul game late, I think the Knicks could have won by 10 if we took care of the ball. So that's something we've got to clean up. It's a little shaky. Get your experienced guys on the floor late. I would love a lineup with maybe DiVincenzo on the floor late, or of course Hart can help us take care of the ball a little bit. But these guys we'll learn from tonight. We put this in the rearview mirror. We put it in the books, and we move ahead. Just before we get out of here, we'll do a score check. But how many did Wemby have tonight? Yeah, we have Wemby shot 7 of 19, 36%, went 0 of 6 from deep. in 30 minutes, but 21 points, 12 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks, but 4 turnovers. So yeah, a lot of mixed bag from what you can expect from a rookie, with 19 shot attempts, leading the team. So yeah, they featured him tonight, ladies and gents, in that game, and that's a final. The San Antonio Spurs pulled it out, 126-122, outscoring the Rockets in overtime. Yep. So that's big for that organization early. Now, who else won? So looks like Raptors are up by 2 with 32 seconds remaining, 103-101 over the Bulls. We have the Mavericks now up 5 over the Nets with 4 seconds to go. Looks like the Mavericks are going to get back-to-back wins. That's huge. And then we have all the West Coast games still to play. So, yeah, fun times, ladies and gents, as we get ready to wrap up after a big win. Encouraging, but yeah, we got to clean some things up and do better on the road. In New Orleans, so Zion, these guys come into play now. The New York Knicks can make another statement as we pull it out on the road against Atlanta, 126-120, career highs from Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle almost with a triple-double, RJ Bully Barrett got in the streets buzzing right now. And I appreciate everyone for watching along. Appreciate you smashing that like button. Replay squad, I see you. And let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We shout you out or reply to the comments. And we'll see you tomorrow night down in New Orleans. Right, let's get this second win of the season and go 2-1 right now, and then the back-to-back against Cleveland. Let's tick these games off one by one and chalk up the wins. But yeah, salute Vaughn, Nick Yak, salute, let's go. New York City Ball 08, appreciate you. Jean Bernard, let's go. See your passion. Sherwin, let's go. Bricks Nation, let's getting this win. Daniel Berry and Duke Brown, let's go. That's a tap. Grit and no quit. Drip more. We here for another year. Got the streets buzzing. Peace out.